time. Hey, Ray Ray. Hey, Siamese. Hey, Shell. Here we go. I'm excited that all of them are good stories, regardless. All right. Last Friday it went for possession. Oh my God. Stephen King. I'm telling you, this Will absolutely loves Stephen King. Good thing I have a good one picked out. Oh my gosh. story is The Cycle of the Werewolf. But first, let's go into story time, shall we? Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Light a candle to chase away those shadows. Pull your curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Stephen King has so many stories, short stories. It is unbelievable how many that he has. This is one called The Cycle of the Werewolf, which is the movie Silver Bullet is actually taken from this story. So it might sound a little familiar to you in places. Let me know in the comments. I'm ready. Bring on Stephen King. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Tug Eugene. The storm came suddenly, whipping across the main hills like a furious, unseen hand. The people of Tarker's Mills, huddled by fireplaces, sipping their cocoa, whispering of power outages and closing schools. But one man stood alone in the blizzard. Arnie Westrom, the flagman, clothed in a thick wool coat, tapping his thermos on the windowsill of the remote railway station. "Storm's gonna bury those lines again," he muttered, wiping fog from the glass. The wind howled, the snow slapped the panes, and for a moment, Arnie felt like he was being watched. He turned on the radio, hoping for music, static, more static. Then a voice, not the DJ, not human, a guttural whisper that seemed to crawl from the speakers, a growl that vibrated with something wrong. He turned it off, stood slowly, then came the sound. Scratch, scratch, thump. Something was circling the small station, padding through the snow. Far too heavy for a raccoon, too quiet for a deer. And he grabbed the flare gun off the wall. "Who's out there?" Silence. Then a shape in the window, too tall, too wide. Its breadth fogged the glass. Arnie screamed as the thing crashed through the door, its body black as the sky. fur matted with frost and blood, eyes yellow, intelligent, ravenous. He fired. The flare struck the wall, then came the ripping. By morning, only blood soaked into white snow remained. Something else was left behind. A single claw, still twitching. Night dwellers, tell me, if you were trapped alone in a blizzard and heard scratching at your window, would you look? Chapter 2, March, the Whispers of Saints and Sin. Spring should bring warmth, but in Tarker's Mills, the mounting snow only revealed things. Carcasses, death, rot. The second victim came in March, Stella Randolph. She was a spinster with hands that trembled and a heart that never knew love. She lived alone, surrounded by porcelain dolls with creepy painted eyes and matted hair that never blinked. I know that my night dwellers are particularly fond of dolls. Stella had been having dreams, though, of her, of teeth, of eyes gleaming in the woods behind her house. I tell you, Reverend, I think I'm being watched, she whispered to Reverend Lowe after service. The priest nodded too quickly, sweated too much, and when she left, he gripped the edge of his pulpit so tightly his knuckles turned white. Because he was dreaming too, of running barefoot beneath the moon, of blood on his lips, of snarling at children. Stella's end came on the 19th. She'd opened her window to let in the first spring air. But what came in wasn't a breeze. It was hunger wrapped in fur. The neighbors found her the next morning. All of her dolls shattered, her cat dismembered, her body torn open like pages in a holy book, and on the windowsill, a bloody paw print with 5 fingers. Lowell held her funeral. He said her prayers, but deep down a voice echoed, "It was you, Lowell. It was you." Night dwellers, if your dreams begin to mirror Schmurder's, would you confess? Or would you hide your teeth? Chapter 3, July, Firecrackers and Fury. The heat came heavy in July, as it always does. The 4th lit up the sky in brilliant fireworks, shades of blue, red, gold, green. But not everyone in Tarker's Mills felt like celebrating. The parades were quieter, the laughter strained. Why? Because their people were disappearing one by one by one. And what was doing it? One boy sat alone in the dark. His name was Marty Coslaw. Smart, spirited, confined to a wheelchair. But he didn't feel broken, just overlooked. He had enough sass about him that he didn't care if anyone spoke to him or not. He was just enjoying life to the fullest. That night, he rolled into his backyard with a pack of firecrackers. He knew he shouldn't be playing with them, but he did it anyway, trying to find some kind of joy beneath the distant boom of fireworks. The shadows near the shed were darker than usual. He heard breathing. Milt? Uncle Al? You there? No answer. And then from the black, it lunged. 7 feet tall, long arms, yellow eyes, claws extended. Marty screamed, ripped through the night as he fumbled through his lap for the lighter. He lit it like a cherry bomb and flung it at the creature's face. Boom! A shriek. Not human. Not even close. The beast reeled, stumbling back into the trees, blood streaming from its eye. That one eye. Marty survived. Barely. The police had said that a dog attacked him. But Marty knew better. He studied books. He knew about cryptids and lore. No. He knew what it was that had attacked him. It was the werewolf. And someone in town was now missing an eye. Night Dwellers. If an 11-year-old boy told you that a werewolf tried to eat him, would you believe him? Chapter 4, October, The Confession of the Beast. Fall came clothed in red leaves and hushed voices. Marty had begun to write anonymous letters. He knew. He was sure now. One went straight to the Reverend. The letter said, I know it's you. You need to stop before you kill someone else. The Reverend didn't deny it. In fact, he simply mouthed back, I can't, and I won't. And so Marty began to hatch a plan. With help from his black sheep uncle, he had a bullet cast from the mother's silver crucifix. One bullet, one chance. Halloween night. No trick-or-treaters came. The house was too quiet, too still, too dark. Until the knock at the door. Marty wheeled forward, trembling, the weapon in his lap. Another knock, and then a low growl. The werewolf came crashing through the window. Marty screamed, raised the gun. Bang! The silver bullet struck the beast in the heart. It shrieked, twitched, shifted. Fur melted away like mist. And when the body collapsed, it was no longer a creature. It was Reverend Lowe. His remaining eye wide in horror, his mouth bloody. One final whisper escaped his lips. Thank you. Night Dwellers, could you unalive the monster if it wore the face of your priest? Chapter 5, December. The cycle never ends. Snow returned, as did silence. Tarka's Mills buried its terror. No more deaths, no more howls. But the town never felt whole again. Marty left for college years later, but the dreams followed him. He dreamed of running on all fours, of growling in foreign languages, of hunting through dorm halls. And he'd wake with the sweat and guilt, because evil never dies. It just moves. And every December in the deepest cold, someone hears a cry. Something scratching at their door. Not a man, not quite a beast, but something becoming. And far away in the distance, the sound of a boy's laugh. Or was it a growl? Night dwellers, do you think a curse like this ever truly ends? Or does it sleep inside the next heart to break? That was a very short Stephen King story, original. With it being so short, I am going to spin again. Let's see what the next story will be. Short story. Short story. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute and I will be right back. Get ready for the second one. We might end up with 3 tonight. That was one of the shortest short stories that I think I've ever seen. It was actually adapted into Silver Bullet, just so you know. The short story for tonight where did it go? I just had it. Thank you. The short story selection is Dudley Town, the Village of the Damned. Just pouring some water real quick into my water bottle. Thank you, Mary. Welcome, night dwellers, to the second story of the evening, to tonight's tale of cursed land and vanished souls. This is Dudley Town, the village of the damned, a story of madness, mystery, and malevolence. You've entered the night realm. Let's go. They say no birds sing in Dudley Town. No breeze whispers through the dead trees. And once you enter, something enters you. Something takes over you. This was once a village that was carved into the woods of Connecticut, hidden, silent, and swallowed by the shadow of the mountains. They call it Dudley Town, but long before the forest grew thick, before the homes rotted into ruin, it had another name among those who feared it, the village of the damned. And tonight, we walk where no light dares linger. Chapter 1. The Dudley Curse begins. It began across the sea in 1510. Edmund Dudley, a nobleman in King Henry VIII's court, was accused of treason and beheaded, which was the common thing to do then. But before his death, he cursed the crown. And not only did he curse the crown, he cursed all of Henry VIII's descendants. Did you know that? Generations fled England in shame. Some sailed to the New World. Among them, William Dudley, who settled in the shadowed hills of Cornwall, Connecticut. There, in a clearing, they built homes, raised livestock, planted seeds, called it a new beginning. But it wasn't. Misfortune followed. Sickness spread. Cattle died. Children vanished. And something watched them from the woods. Do you believe that a blood curse can poison generations? Let me know in the comments. to the silence of the trees. Locals said no birds ever sang in Dudleytown, not even once. Hunters swore that the forest was unnaturally quiet, as if something was listening, waiting. By the mid-1700s, the village had grown, and so had the tragedies. One man went completely mad and walked into the woods, never to return. Another slaughtered his entire family during a thunderstorm, claiming, "The shadows made me do it." Whispers of a curse spread, but still they stayed. After all, where else could they go? There was a young family that was there, John and Elmira. Elmira was terrified. Upon entering the village, she knew that something was wrong. "What is it about this place, John? Something feels off about this place." Elmira hung sheets out in the back. It was a windy day. But when she went out to get the sheets, there was something black covering almost the whole part of it. "What is this, John? What is this? I'm telling you, this village is cursed. This village is damned, and I want to leave here. I want to leave. I want to go home." "This is your home now. This is your home. You're with me. You're my wife. We will stay here." Needless to say, she wasn't happy. People talked about screams in the middle of the night, terrifying, blood-curdling screams. One child looked out and back toward the woods, said that he saw a man walking, holding his head. When he tried to tell his mother and father about it, they laughed, as did the other children. "Andy, you always have such vivid imagination, dear. There is no man walking around carrying his head under his arm. It just doesn't happen." "Yes, it does, Mom. I saw it." "Okay, you saw it. But please, don't spread it to your younger sisters. I have enough problems with them being twins on my own." The villagers came together. They made a choice. Do we stay here on this cursed ground, or do we leave? They decided they were going to be brave. They had not came all the way from England to run. They would forge a way. They would make it. They would survive. I hope so. Chapter 3. The disappearances begin. Imagine a forest in your village that makes no sound. No birds, no animals, nothing. Dead. Quiet. Not one peep. First, the forest just took the sound, but then it began to take people. In 1804, a young boy named Eli ran into the woods chasing a ball, a red ball. His mother was watching from the woods. She saw him run into them. Eli! Eli, come back here! He had been sick for a couple days, and once he was off his bed, he wanted to go outside and play. So the mother let him run outside, but she expressly told him, don't go to the woods. But Eli didn't listen. To the woods he went, and so did she. Eli, I am going to tan your hide if I do not see you in 2 seconds. 1, 2, and out of nowhere, the red ball appeared. Eli? Eli! The only problem was, the ball was red, but now it had an addition to it. Red blood. A search party was formed. Mary ran into town. She found her husband at church. She and Eli had not attended it because he was sick. She burst through the church doors. He's gone! Eli is gone! Darling, where is he? Look! Look at it! It's his ball! But what is that on it? Her husband looked down at it. Why did you let him go to the woods? He was feeling better. I told him that he could go if he would stay in the yard, but he went immediately toward the woods. Don't just sit here! Go look for him! And so they did. A search party followed. A group of 10 men. Only one returned. Eyes blank, lips whispering nonsense about roots moving and faces in the bark. It made no sense at all. He was raving mad. They locked him in the church cellar. He would shout and bang on the door. He scratched one word into the wall before dying of fright. It was just one word. Below. What would you do if the woods whispered your name? Would you answer back? Chapter 4. The Doctor's Wife. In 1808, Dr. William Clark moved to Dudleytown with his new wife, Sarah. He was a man of science. She was a woman of dreams. But dreams in Dudleytown are dangerous things. When they were on their way to Dudleytown, they stopped at another neighboring town. Sarah was quite happy when she first went in, her hands protectively covering her baby bump. She would be having their first child. And William, her husband, was ecstatic to be taking his first position as a doctor. When they arrived in the town, everyone looked at them. An old woman walked up to Sarah, put her hand on her belly. Sarah withdrew, but the old woman held her hand still. Don't you know this village is damned? Sarah lay in bed with her husband that night, very worried and very perplexed over what the old woman had to say. William snuggled closer to her. "What is it, my darling?" "Did you hear what that woman said today? What she said about the village and the men and the boys?" "No, I'm not going to listen to the silly ramblings of some old woman. Are you?" She seemed like she meant it, William. "And that's not the only thing. When we were in the other town, some people approached my table and they were talking about this place. They said it was dark and damned. But the place is beautiful. You saw it today. There is nothing wrong with this." "I suppose you're right. I am right. Are you going to be all right while I ride out further and check on the neighbors?" Yes, I'll be fine. Yes, I'll be fine." So while Dr. Clark was away on business, Sarah was alone. She woke up one night, sleepwalking. She found herself wandering at the edge of the forest. Her dress was torn, her hair matted, her eyes empty when she was found the next morning in the field. She kept screaming about something in the forest wanting her baby, her son. And that was when the two women that found her in the field gasped. Her white nightgown was covered in blood, and her belly was flat. She screamed. The baby was gone. She could not contain the loss of her child. When her husband arrived back and the villagers told him what had happened, he was shocked. His Sarah would never do that, would never take the life of her own child. It made no sense to him, none at all. A couple more months passed. Dr. Clark insisted that Sarah leave and spend time with her aunt in the West. And she did. She began to feel as normal as a mother who has lost a child can be. She missed him. She missed William. She wanted to be back with him. "Please let me return," she said in the letters. "My only happiness is with you, William. But there might be too many ghosts here for you." "Nonsense, William. I'll be fine." So Sarah returned to the village of the damned. At first, everything was normal. She still had dark shadows under her eyes. And William asked her one night, "What happened? What happened? Why were you at the edge of the woods? Why did you have a poker? Why?" "William, I don't remember anything about that. Nothing at all. I just remember hearing voices and seeing a man with no face. That's what I remember. Can we not talk about it anymore? I came back to be with you. Perhaps we could try again to have children." Sarah smiled at him. William couldn't resist. But it did not end as they had hoped it would. Sarah began to have visions of lying down in the field and something cutting her baby out. She heard the voice say, "It's a girl, nothing more." And then the dream was over. This time, she started to hear the voices again. William came home early to check on her because she would bring him a sandwich to the office down the road. But this time she didn't. Everything in him sensed that something was terribly wrong. And it was. When he walked up the path toward his house, he heard a distinct banging sound. He opened the front door. The banging sound was where his wife had hung herself from the attic beam and was swinging back and forth, hitting the wall. William left town and never returned. He built a new home far away. He never married again, never had children, and he never spoke about what happened in the village. Tell me, do you think the ancient evil that dwells in the village of the damned took her because it was a boy? And what do you think happened with the other child that was literally cut from her belly? Chapter 5, The Blight Below. Years passed. The soil turned black. No crops grew. Water from the wells tasted of rust and rot. People began hearing sounds at all hours of the night, tapping on their windows. It was as if something was trying to drive them insane. They would check under their beds, but the crawl spaces were empty. They would hear things knocking around in the cellars, but nothing was there. Animals began to disappear. More men, more boys. And then, one night, around 11 p.m., the fog came. Thick, pale, silent. It rolled in without warning and never left the valley. And when it came, the dreams began. Dreams of Schmurder. Dreams that were so dark and so ancient and so evil. Some tried to leave, but the fog was so thick they couldn't see in front of their faces. Everyone in the village dreamed of something clawing its way into their hearts, into their homes. Something that had been buried, but not dead. something that they had unlocked, and now the door was wide open. It began to mess with their brains and their minds. There was a young woman. The village was without food, so some of the men folk decided that they were going to go another opposite direction and were going to try to find food for the winter. There was a young woman who had 2 boys. It had been 2 weeks since the husbands had came home. And as much as she tried to believe that good was coming, she couldn't. And why? Because when she would stand and look at her boys, she could see her husband wandering through fog and rain, lost, terrified, screaming her name. The first few nights, she dealt with it as best as she could. The children were starving, as was she. She watched her boys as they slept. And that's when she heard the voices. You'd be better off without them. Then you can go and find your husband. He's looking for you, you know. No, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Oh, yes, you do. You do hear me. Your husband is dead. Your children are dying. What do you think is going to happen next? I don't hear you. I don't hear anything you're saying. Oh, but you do. You do hear it. Your husband's not coming back. Your husband is dead. Your children are dying. What do you think is going to happen next to you? No! 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 Would it not be better to put them out of their misery? No one will ever know. And then you can end yours. And you can go find your husband. The young mother just kept hearing the voices over and over and over in her head. Thunder began to clap in the background. Lightning flashed. The wind began to whip through the village. Your husband is dead. Your children are dying. What do you think will happen next to you? The young mother walked over to the bed where the 2 boys are. My husband is dead. My children are dying. What will happen to me? That's right. That's right. My husband is dead. My children are dying. What is going to happen to me? children's lives that night and her own. When they found her the next morning, she was laying on the floor, her eyes wide with terror. It was taking everything, every family. Question. If you heard scratching beneath your floor, would you look? We are going to take a intermission, and then when we come back, I am going to read the rest of The Village of the Downs. I hope you're enjoying. Stop, drop, roll out of there. Hey, lucid dream. I'll be right back. Oh, I love Supernatural. Yes, Bobby Johnson, we are on a break. Hey, Nana Sherry. I did, Shirley. I had a really good birthday. Yep, it's just intermission. Do you like your tumbler? Oh, good, Melanie. I have been very happy with this one. It keeps ice really well, keeps that drink cold, nice and cold. Thank you, Bad Kitty Pop Tart. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Lucid Dreams. I did exactly what I said that I was going to do for my birthday. What did you get, Charlene? I'm going to start making some content with my t-shirt and my hat. I love it. It's so comfortable. Thank you, Karen Coleman France. How have you been? Thank you for all the gifting that I've seen tonight. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, Nana Sherry. Thank you. Good. Oh, awesome, Shirley. That t-shirt is really comfortable. Have you already got it? Or is it being mailed? Oh, that sounds amazing, Rachel. I love some cornbread. Love it. I would like to thank XJ, Karen, Nana Sherry, Lady D, Melanie, Pom Mom, Mary, Kimmy, Shirley Thurlby, Karen Coleman France, Lilu. Thank you all for the gifts. Mia, Amber Robinson, thank you, Amber, Sandra Jefferson, Amber Robinson, Judy Willis, thank you, Pamela, thank you, W.W. Murphy, hello, Magic Moon, hello, thank you so much, Tonga Jean Recovery, thank you, RJ89, hello, thank you for the heartbeat, Amber Robinson, MFO42, thank you. If this is your first time here, let us know in the comments. I would love to meet you. Gracie, hello, thank you. Emerald Dragon, Shell Renee, Ebony Eyes, Rose, thank you. Thank you so much. Christine. Judy, Amy. I have two Judys. I have Judy Steele and I have Judy Willis. So thank you to my Judys. Bling Queen, Curry. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll be starting the story back up in 5 minutes. Now, I've heard that this story is actually based on a true story of a village somewhere up north that reportedly is cursed. Like nothing can grow there. No, like everybody ends up leaving, and it's just abandoned. I would have to look in and look more into it, and see if I could get more information. Kimmy, how many do we have over there in YouTube? Can you send me a chat and let me know who's in there? Hey, Kimberly. 4. Oh, thank you, Jareen. I don't know if y'all can tell, but they have ravens with the moon and tree limbs, like bare tree limbs. And then this one, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. Clouds, maybe? I don't know. Hi to all over there in YouTube. Do I have merch in pink? I've got a pink hat because I'm going to be wearing that. X, does the t-shirt come in pink? I can't remember. Love it, love it, love it. Love that Tumblr, Melanie. That is great. Oh, awesome. There you go, kiddo. They come in pink. And it's the prettiest shade of pink. Now don't forget, Sunday night is subscribers live only chat. So Grims, make sure you're there. Thank you, Turtle Woman, for sharing. Hey, Debbie Maple, how are you doing? 1 minute. Awesome. So plenty of pink, kiddo. Plenty of pink. Doing very well. Everyone, let's start hyping it up. Wednesday night, August the 6th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Chris Netzel is going to be in the house. He is a paranormal investigator, just like Santa Paranormal. I'm sure we're going to have as good a time with him as we did with Santa. I love Santa. But Chris is going to be here. I've got the questions lined up, and I am ready to go. Hey, have your questions lined up too. I saw that there was one video that X made. There were 24,000 views. So this could end up being a big live. So let's just make sure that we're all here, all supporting Twisted Tales Live, and let's have a night of fun. Hey, Eclipse. I am good. All right, everyone, let's get back into story time. Yes, I'm very excited. I've been watching him and, you know, just trying to, you know, it's just a good vibe on there. I tell you, Santa has a great vibe. I was scared so bad the other night watching his. It was incredible. I loved it. All right. I'm sure some of us have gotten out of story mode. I can't wait to hear it, Melanie. All right, let's get back into the Village of the Damned, but first, lower your lights. Lock those doors. Light a candle for ambiance if you haven't already. Pull those curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Hello, Sinking Dreams. Welcome. The second story of the evening is The Village of the Damned, a short story. But from what I'm understanding, there is a place that does exist that was cursed. Terribly cursed. Nothing grows in the soil. No one can live there. The forest is quiet. People go mad, they say. Chapter 6. By the 1850s, Dudley Town was nearly abandoned. But one family remained, stubborn as old, the Brophies. Now this family was tough and God-fearing and proud. Y'all are ridiculous going off and leaving this land. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do when you can't make it out there and you want to come back here? You're not going to come here anymore. We're leaving, Brophy. We're leaving. We're taking our families. And if you knew what you were doing, you would do it too. I've had too much of death. We all have. And whether she cared to admit it or not, Miss Brophy did not like seeing her neighbors leaving. She turned and looked at her husband, Thomas. She put her head on his shoulder, softly. Thomas, I don't want to hear it, woman. I don't want to hear it. We are here and we are not leaving. Children, come. It's time to go to bed. But that night, around 12 o'clock p.m., a.m., the moon was big and full. That was until the fog started rolling in. The moon disappeared behind the clouds. It did not want to illuminate this town. Clara heard one of her boys screaming, "Mama! Papa!" They got out of bed and made their way to the front door. The outside was encased in the thickest white fog, and it almost had a greenish gleam to it. Patrick! Patrick, where are you? I'm over here, Mama, I can't see! 7-year-old Patrick, venturing out of the house when he was clearly told not to. "It's all right, son. I'm coming. I'm coming." Thomas Brophy, the big brute of a man, afraid of nothing, began to tremble. Why? Because little Patrick began to scream. "Who's got you, son? Thomas, bind him! Bind him!" Then the other girls began to scream. I don't know what attacked the Brophy house. All I know is the next morning, only one child remained. Eliza, 13 years old. She hid under her bed. Tell me, what would it take to make an entire family vanish without a trace? Chapter 7, The Forbidden Land. Time passed. Years passed. Eliza Brophy, 13, woke up that morning calling her dad, her mom, her brother, her other 2 sisters, but there was nothing. It was as if they had vanished off the face of the earth. Mom? Dad? Patrick? Susie? Eleanor? Where are you? It was so quiet. Eliza gathered what she could and left the village. She began to walk and walk miles and miles and miles until she finally came to a town. And when she finally arrived, she was starving. Holes were in her shoes. She collapsed at a door. She wasn't even sure whose house it was. It so happened that it was the Reverend and his wife, John and Millie Casey. They heard a thump outside. What in God's name is that? I'll check it. You sit there. You're studying for tomorrow's sermon. Miss Casey went to the door. She couldn't open it. Something heavy was against it from outside. John, I think I do need your help. What is it? There's something pressed against our door. I cannot get it open. John came in and assisted his wife, Miss Casey, and they were able to push the door. When they made it outside, they looked down and saw a young girl, Eliza Brophy, passed out. When she came to, she began to sob and cry. What is it, child? Where is your family? They're gone. Gone where? They left you? I don't understand. The preacher spoke up. Her eyes are haunted. Her face is terrified. Look at her face, Miss Casey. Where is your family? They're gone. I know you keep saying they're gone, but where are they gone to? I don't know. I don't know. The fog took them. The fog? She's incoherent. She doesn't know what she's saying. The preacher looked closer at the pretty girl. No, Miss Casey, she knows exactly what she's talking about. What village are you from? They call it the Village of the Damned. Miss Casey knew exactly what she was talking about then. Exactly. I'll make you some dinner. Don't worry. You're safe here. Eliza was taken in by the young minister and his wife. She was with them for years, until she married. But John spoke with his congregation, particularly with the men. He told them of the young girl who had showed up on his doorstep, and how she had described how her family had went disappearing in one night because of the fog. They traveled to the village. It was as if the forest had swallowed their homes. It reeked of death. When the men did return from the village, they came back pale, twitchy, paranoid. A few of the men even went so far as to say that they saw black-eyed children peeking from the ruins, peeking out at them. As the years passed, whether it was whatever ancient thing was haunting the village or whether it was just the souls that were lost there, people began to report as they would pass the town in a boat. They would see these old lantern lights bobbing between the trees. The lights inside the lanterns were green. But the village was completely gone. No paths, no roads left. It was as if everything had been sucked in. More people began to disappear. One such person being Elizabeth Frank. First person. It was 1942. My daughter Elizabeth was just as stubborn as a mule. She had her eyes set on this boy in the town, and he was just no good. And I told her so. I said, Elizabeth, that boy is no good. And I am putting my foot down. You cannot have anything to do with him. I'll do whatever I want to do, Mama. It's my life. I couldn't blame Elizabeth for being the way she was. She lost her father so young. And I was trying to raise her on my own. It wasn't going well. I checked her bed. It was around 10 p.m. one night. And she was gone. I called for the sheriff. They had found her bag. But that was all. I don't believe that Elizabeth is with us anymore. I think she's passed beyond this life. Her bag was found in that place, in that village that they say existed back in the 1800s. She's not with us. There's no point looking for her. Local sheriffs have warned people, travelers, not to go to this town. Historians call it a myth, but that land was marked. Something was buried there, and it's still hungry. What do you think is making all these people go missing? Leave your theories in the comments. Hey, Ohio girl. Chapter 8. The Paranormal Files. No one is going to leave a town alone. Especially where handfuls of people, families, have gone missing. In the 1970s, a paranormal team from Boston visited Dudleytown. They set their recorders and cameras and EMF detectors right up on the banks of the river. What they captured was never released. But one of the women there did write down in her journal her findings. We've been here 2 days. So far, it's been completely unsuccessful. Jack says we need to give it another day. But it's cold, and I'm wet, and I'm miserable, and I just want to go home. "12:00 a.m. We woke up to the sound of Chris screaming. He told us to hurry up and come out and look. I peeked out my tent and I saw it. A lot of people have reported lanterns glowing in the woods. I swear to God, it's true. Some of them had like a golden light, some of them had a greenish light. The scariest part is they were high up. They weren't on the ground. It was almost as if something was floating. "2:00 a.m. There's a fog fort. Chris says that it's just coming from the river, but we've never had this fog before. Not ever before. In the 3 days we've been here. What is that stuff? It's thick and did I just hear a laugh? 5 a.m. Chris is missing. We can't find him anywhere. We've got to leave. We got to get out of here and try to find him, but the fog is so thick. Taylor's acting crazy. He's going mad. He said something whispered and told him to unalive everybody in the camp. I'm really scared. "7:00 a.m. It's just me and Robert. I'm hearing these voices. These voices are telling me to do terrible things to Mark. I can't stop the voices. I can't stop the voices. To this day, no full report has ever been made public of what this paranormal team discovered. The only thing that we have is her journal. It's almost as if someone or something wants it forgotten. Chapter 9. The Curse Awakens. They say if you stand in the ruins of Dudley Town after midnight, this is what you'll hear. Breathing, heavy, laughing, screaming, whispers in your own voice. But speaking things that you never thought you'd think of. Some say that they have seen even more horrible things. A woman who we'll call Jessie, because she doesn't want to be known, said that she went on a camping trip with her dad and her brother. It was just something that they do, something that they like. They actually were not staying in Dudleytown. They were staying in the neighboring town over. But it was right up beside the creek. Jessie said she woke up. She had to go to the bathroom. She took a lantern with her. Her dad peeked out of the tent. "Jessie, where are you going?" "I'm just gonna go down the road just a little bit. I'll be right back." "Okay, but be careful." They were so close to Dudleytown. So close. Jessie was finishing up. And suddenly her lantern that was on the ground disappeared. She turned and looked. It was nowhere to be found. She couldn't walk back in the pitch dark. And that's when she saw it. Her lantern being held up in the air by someone that looked exactly like her. Jessie took off running. The moonlight was sparse. She fell a couple times, screaming for her dad and her brother. They hurried out of their tents. They could hear her screaming. They ran in her direction. Jessie has never been the same. First person. It looked just like me. It wasn't so much that they looked that she looked like me. It was her smile. Her smile was so evil, so wrong. I was terrified. I was afraid I was never going to see my dad or my brother again. I still dream of it. That smile, stretched too wide, teeth too sharp. They say the land is dormant, but that's the lie that it tells while it waits. Because a curse doesn't die. It simply goes quiet until the next fool awakes it. What if you saw your own person in the woods staring back at you? Would it scare you? Chapter 10. And now I ask you, was it really abandoned? Why are the borders patrolled? Why will they let no one come in? Why are all public records sealed of this village? Why is Dudley Town still forgotten and forbidden by the locals? Because the truth, night dwellers, was never meant for daylight. Because some villages die and some are buried alive. In the cold soil where curses were sown. If you're on a camping trip or just visiting Dudley Town, don't stop. Don't you dare stop. You may see the glowing lights, the lanterns in the trees. You might hear the cry of a child. Help me. Help me. And God forbid if you should see a white fog start to follow down the path. You don't want to see the mitts closing. You don't want the birds to go silent, do you? I don't know what resides at Dudley Town, but it was named the Village of the Damned for a reason. In forest thick, where no birds cry, where cursed winds moan and shadows lie, a village sleeps in soil deep, but something there forgot to sleep. They mocked the curse, dismissed the fear, but fog crept close when none were near. And from the trees came voice and plea, yet none returned to speak to thee. It is in this valley that madness grows, where roots run red and no one knows. The curse rises from soil and tree, a darker voice, a prophecy. So step in close and hear me. My stories burrow deep where they cannot flee, and in the darkest